In the year 632 after Ford, the world has no wars, no poverty, no hunger. Humanity has finally built the perfect society, or so they've been told. From the outside, it glitters like a utopia. Everyone is healthy. Everyone is happy. Everyone knows their place. But beneath the glow of endless pleasure and comfort, there is a quiet, mechanical heartbeat, the sound of a prison so perfect, its inmates never think to escape. Here, life begins not in the womb, but in a factory. The central London hatchery hums with the sterile precision of a machine god. Rows of glass bottles cradle human embryos, each engineered for a specific purpose. The Bokanovsky process splits one fertilized egg into as many as 96 identical beings. Mass production has come to human life itself. And not all lives are created equal. At the top are the alphas, tall, intelligent, destined to lead. Below them, the betas, comfortable in their slightly lesser status. Then come the gammas, deltas, and finally, the epsilons, stunted, simple-minded, condemned to the dirtiest labor. No resentment exists between them, because they've been built not to feel it. From birth, each is conditioned to love their lot. Hypnopedia, sleep teaching, whispers mantras into their subconscious night after night. Everyone belongs to everyone else. Ending is better than mending. These phrases become instinct, bypassing thought entirely. Desire is controlled. Ambition is crushed before it can form. Love, family, loyalty, all replaced by state-approved pleasure. And when that pleasure fades, there is soma, a small, perfect pill. No hangover, no withdrawal. Just a blissful chemical fog to dissolve pain, doubt, and questions before they can take root. This is not a tyranny of whips and chains. This is a tyranny of comfort. No one rebels because no one remembers they could. Yet, even in this flawless machine, there are whispers. Rare moments when a pair of eyes lingers too long on the horizon, when a question burns for a second before it is smothered. And it is here, in these tiny cracks, that the story begins to stir. If you want to see where these cracks lead, stay with me. Like this video, and subscribe so you don't miss the truth hidden beneath this perfect lie. What comes next will change the way you see the world. Among the endless rows of perfectly designed citizens, there are a few who don't quite fit the mold. Bernard Marx is one of them. An alpha by birth, he should be tall, confident, and physically imposing. Instead, Bernard is shorter than most alphas, a flaw that sets him apart in a world where perfection is engineered. People whisper that something went wrong in his bottle, that an accident during his gestation left him incomplete. And Bernard feels it. He doesn't laugh as easily as the others. The casual, endless swapping of partners disgusts him. He prefers to be alone, a dangerous preference in a society that worships the group. Then there is Lenina Crown, a beta who works at the hatchery. Lenina is everything the world state wants: attractive, charming, and content. She takes her soma, follows the rules, and lives without questioning them. To her, Bernard is curious, strange, but intriguing. When he asks her to go on a holiday to the savage reservations, she hesitates, not because it's forbidden, but because it's unusual. The reservations are relics, places where people still live without the world state's control, without soma, without the engineered castes. Bernard's request is not just about travel. It's about escape. Away from the neon-lit perfection. Away from the endless voices telling him who he should be. Something deep in him longs to see a life that isn't manufactured. But even in seeking this escape, Bernard is watched. His superiors view him with suspicion. Difference, in the world state, is a dangerous thing. Those who don't fit are quietly removed. And Bernard is beginning to feel the invisible hands closing around him. Lenina agrees to go. For her, it's an adventure, a story to tell when she returns. For Bernard, it's a chance to find answers to questions he can't silence. Their journey to the savage reservations is set, but neither understands what awaits them. Behind the reservation's fences lies a world the state calls primitive, but it is a place where people still feel deeply, where life is not controlled and pain is not erased. It is there that they will meet someone who will shatter everything they believe. And once that door is opened, it can never be closed. The journey to the savage reservation feels like traveling backwards in time. Past the gates and the armed guards, the clean lines of the world state vanish. Here, there are no endless towers of glass, no neon advertisements, no constant hum of machinery. The air smells of dust and firewood. The streets are uneven, littered with stones. People age here. They grow sick. They die. And they do it without soma. For Lenina, it's a nightmare. The sight of an old woman shocks her, bent, wrinkled, trembling with age. In the world state, people are retired long before such decay sets in. For Bernard, it is strangely intoxicating. Here, life is messy, raw, and real. It is in this place they meet John. Tall, blonde-haired, with eyes that burn with an intensity they have never seen before. He wears handmade clothes, speaks with a strange mixture of humility and defiance, and carries a presence that makes both Bernard and Lenina uneasy. John is not like the others in the reservation. His skin is lighter, his English is fluent. Slowly, his story unfolds. His mother, Linda, came from the world state years ago. She was left behind after an accident and became an outcast here, raising John in a world that rejected them both. From her, John learned of the state, its comforts, its technology, its pleasures. But he also learned of its emptiness. What shaped him most was not the state, but Shakespeare. Old books, relics of a forgotten world, gave him the words to express feelings the state had no language for. Love, honor, betrayal, tragedy, the poetry of human life, unfiltered by conditioning. Bernard senses an opportunity. Bringing John back to the world state could give him leverage, protection from those who want to silence him. Lenina sees something else entirely, a curiosity, perhaps even a fascination. But for John, the invitation to leave the reservation is more than a journey. It is a chance to step into the world he has only heard about in his mother's stories. He accepts. And as they travel back, Bernard feels the weight of what they are carrying. John is more than a man. He is a mirror. A living reminder of what humanity once was, and a test of what the world state has become. When John steps into the world state, he enters a world that feels like a dream. Sleek towers, glowing streets, citizens with flawless faces and unshakable smiles. At first, they see him as a novelty, the savage, paraded at parties, questioned, and whispered about. But John is not here to entertain. He is here to see. At every turn, he is struck by the emptiness behind the beauty. The people are numb. Their laughter is shallow. Their pleasures are mechanical. They speak in slogans, not thoughts. Love is forbidden, loyalty is meaningless, and every hint of sorrow is drowned in soma. When he refuses Lenina's advances, she is stunned. In the world state, intimacy is casual, stripped of passion or commitment. But John's view of love, shaped by Shakespeare's tragedies, is sacred, demanding truth and depth. Her rejection leaves her confused, and leaves him conflicted. Bernard, once empowered by bringing John here, begins to lose control. The novelty wears off. Whispers of discontent grow. The authorities watch John closely, and eventually, he is summoned to meet Mustafa Mond, the world controller. Here, the mask is stripped away. Mond speaks openly. Stability requires the sacrifice of freedom. Truth, beauty, and God are luxuries too dangerous for the masses. People are kept content with pleasure because discontent breeds rebellion. Happiness, Mond says, is never grand. John's soul recoils. He would rather face pain than live in this gilded cage. He leaves the city, fleeing to an abandoned lighthouse at the edge of the world, seeking solitude, purity, and penance. He works the land, prays, and punishes himself for the corruption he feels has tainted him. But the world will not leave him alone. Crowds find him. Cameras follow. Even here, he is a spectacle. When Lenina arrives, the tension inside John breaks. Love, desire, rage, and guilt collide in a storm he cannot contain. The next day, the crowd comes again, and finds only silence. John's body hangs from the rafters, swaying gently in the wind. The savage who sought truth had found no place for it in either world. And as the city carries on, drugged and smiling, the question remains, was he mad to reject their comfort, or were they mad to accept it?